Hello and welcome back. I hope you're enjoying this series where I'm discussing Kalidasa's poetry on different Indian seasons and how he appreciates the beauty, how he captures the details of nature, culture, and geography, of course. And all of that, whatever he had written, it happened at least 1500 years back. And still, as I keep repeating, there's a lot of similarity when you see how seasons work in India, how they inspire culture, how they change perspectives and mindsets of the people. So, previously, I covered summer and the rainy season. Today, I come to the season which we are currently experiencing, the autumn. As I've told you before, there are, according to Kalidasa at least, there are 6 seasons in India. According to the Indian Hindu calendar, the season starts with the summer, first 2 months, probably 1.5 month of just about May and early June. That's the summers, then 2 months of rains, then 2 months of autumn, then 2 months of early winter, and then spring. And we covered how beautifully, how poetically Kalidasa expresses and gives life to these seasons. And that's the first thing I noticed when I was reading the autumn chapter by Kalidasa. By the way, in case you haven't listened to the previous episodes, do check them out. I'm sure you're going to love them. And the work itself is called Ritusamhara, as you know. And now we are in the autumn chapter. So the first couple of lines itself, you get the idea how Kalidasa describes the autumn. It's more like a feminine form he describes it as. Unlike the rainy season where the King Indra was coming thundering and there was this masculine energy in the season, here you find some gentleness, and the way he refers to the season as a womanly figure. So let me read the first few lines for you, and you'll get the idea. Behold, the Lady Autumn comes, clad in the silver casa blossoms. Her fair visage is the white lotus bloom. The tinkling of her anklet bells is heard in the tuneful cry of wild geese on high. The harvest of rice with ripening sheaves bending in billows in the fresh young breeze is her graceful figure and supple body. She emulates the charming bride with the white bridal vesture and lily-like face, the jingling anklets and slender figure, and the shoulders bowed with decorous modesty and woman's gentle grace. Once again, to repeat my earlier point, he describes it as a feminine form of seasons. And as you would have noticed earlier also, he praises the female beauty pretty much in every poem. And beautifully he describes different parts of female beauty. And he's doing pretty much the same here, drawing the comparisons of the season with the woman and praising the beauty. And slowly he does in the subsequent paragraphs is he explains all that is going around in the season, how the moon is shining, how the pools are attracting different animals, and birds, how the flowers are blooming, how different plants, some plants are dying, new plants are coming up, and all that is happening slowly, gently. Like consider these few lines. The sky is a lovely deep blue, like the powdered collyrium. The earth, like the dawn of day, is tinged pink with the pollen of banduka blooms. The fields are bright with burgeoning green, where kalama rice has been sown. Where is the youth whose heart does not throb with glamorous longing? So, once again, in his usual style, he paints the picture of what's going on around and then compares that with human emotion, the kind of human emotion that all this nature is evoking. And he continues with this. He says, the sky is translucent when rain is done, and the moon, free from the web of clouds, has lifted the veil. The nights of autumn, starred and gentle, garbed in the spotless fabric of moonlight, resemble the moon-faced maiden decked in her trinkets, clad in pure white linen and growing in length each day. Once again, wonderful comparison and just pure appreciation of beauty that autumn brings with her. And he keeps on appreciating the nature and also describing how the different crops are coming up, how different flowers and fruits, they are blossoming, what is happening to the lakes, to the rivers, all of that goes on. He also talks about how rains have slowly receded and how things have changed for the wild animals. And then once again he comes back to the lovers in the human society and how they are behaving, what they are feeling, the romantic emotions there. So let me read a few lines from the end part of this poem. It says, maids decorate their mass of curly hair, dark like the rain cloud, with the fresh buds of the trailing malati, and add to the exquisite trinkets of gold, fresh blue lily buds on the ears. Women whose hearts are radiant with love still use the sandal green, use and add a necklace of pearls on the bosom. They add to the beauty of their ample hips by the charm of the circling girdle, and the anklets in symphony sweet caress their lotus feet. And so it goes on and on and on about praising the female, the feminine beauty, then bringing it back to the autumn, once again appreciating the female beauty or the feminine beauty, and then once again to the autumn, and it goes on. And throughout, as we have seen, there is a male figure or just a symbolism of it. He's traveling, he's out, he's working, probably gone someplace else, and the woman is thinking about him, waiting for him. There is longing, there is desire that goes on here as well. And he is experiencing the world of nature from the outside in the wilderness, whereas the woman, she is experiencing on the inside in the house and decorating herself, focusing on herself. That's like how feminine and masculine look at the world. The masculine focus on the outside world, what's going on in nature, in the wilderness, how different things are changing and taking place, all the events. And also on the feminine, the focus is on the feminine or the feminine beauty, whereas the female, she is focusing on herself, on her own beauty much of the time, and then there is longing and there's desire. So desire is common, but otherwise um, they are opposite in some sense, and probably that's how they complete each other. So I find it very romantic, although he's describing nature, although he's describing the weather patterns, seasons, the underlying theme that remains pretty much the same. The lovers, how they are separated, how they want to unite, how there is desire and longing and romance. That's just lovely. So, with that, I leave you, and I hope you'll get a chance to read this poetry, and I'll catch you the next time. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening.